First in Britain, then in the United States and other countries, the Industrial Revolution radically changed how and where millions of men, women, and children lived and worked. For generations, most families had lived on small farms, growing their own food and making many of their own goods, including turning wool from sheep into thread on spinning wheels and weaving cloth for clothes on looms in their cottages. Then, in the last decades of the 1700s, landowners began combining small family plots into larger farms that could grow more food more efficiently. Peasant families lost their farms and cottages. With no money or home, men, women, and children searched for work in towns like Manchester, England, and Lowell, Massachusetts. Both were centers of the largest industry of the time, textiles, weaving cloth, especially cotton. But instead of using spinning wheels and small looms, the mills used machines like these. Most required no special skills or strength to operate. Even children could work them, and hundreds of thousands did. Mill owners paid children only a tenth of what adults earned. Lucy Larcom was 11 when she started working in a mill in Lowell, Massachusetts. She later wrote about her experience in a publication called The Lowell Offering.
So I went to my first day's work in the mill with a light heart. The novelty of it made it seem easy, and it really was not hard, just to change the bobbins on the spinning frames every 3/4 of an hour or so, with half a dozen other little girls who were doing the same thing.
Harriet Robinson also went to work at 11 in a Lowell mill. She later wrote that she became a drawing-in girl who sits on her high stool and with her little hook patiently draws in the thousands of threads one by one. Mill workers labored in vast rooms filled with power looms running constantly and making ear-blasting noise.
I would lean far out of the window and try not to hear the unceasing clash of sound inside. My whole stifled being would cry out, "Oh, that I had wings!" Still, I was there from choice.
The choice for most of the mill workers was to starve or work in the factories for as many as 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Hannah Brown went to work at a mill in Bradford, England when she was 9. We began at 6 in the morning and worked until 9 at night, she remembered. Going home after work brought little relief. Factory towns were, as the German journalist Frederick Engels reported, nothing but narrow, filthy nooks and alleys, a collection of cattle sheds for human beings that Engels saw as this hell upon earth. Mill towns were choked with smoke and coal dust, their air and water horribly polluted. In his novel Hard Times, Charles Dickens wrote that one British mill town had a black canal in it and a river that ran purple with ill-smelling dye. With so many people packed together in such conditions, diseases like cholera and typhus spread quickly and killed many. In 1841, the average life expectancy in the British town of Liverpool was only 26. In the second half of the 1800s, reformers began campaigning to regulate labor. New laws were passed in various countries regulating a minimum age for workers, daily work hours, and conditions in factories and housing. What emerged was a new urban working class of men, and for the first time, women, earning and spending their own money.